Good evening, hyruleslasthope. The Cosmos Owl here, and I'm going to answer your question in the form of a video, simply because I think it'd be easier for me to be able to discuss Gundam plastic model kits by talking and just showing several things that you may find in a comic book store and online web store to people who want to get into Gundam but just feel overwhelmed with just the vast amount of Gundam model kits that are out there. I'm not going to break them down by TV series. I'm more just going to talk about them by different sizes that you'll find, as well as different price ranges. Because I know times are tough for everyone, but everyone still needs a hobby. And this one happens to me one of my favorite hobbies. That I'll spend my money on. But first and foremost, I will talk about the different sizes that you might see at online shops and comic book stores. Normally you'll see the numbers 1/144 or 1/1100. Those refer to the different sizes that the Gundam kit will come with. And I'll start off with the 144. 144, refers that it's 1/144 scale of the actual dimensions of the robot. We'll make a little robot just like this. This is the RX-78-2. This is a high-grade kit. 144s, I feel like, are much more popular, simply because of their size and their prices. A lot of 144s now come packaged as high grades. Currently, there's the high grade Universal Century line that's still running and ongoing. The high grade Build Fighters line, high grade Gundam Seed line, which they just recently came out with some remastered Asteroid kits. And normally the high grade lines will run between $15 to $50. And by high grade, I mean you'll see this little HD kit here. This is the box for a high grade Universal Century F91, and on the upper corner you'll see the HD, and what series the model kit is. This is high grade Universal Century, and normally the high grades should be 144 scale, so they should be priced appropriately as a 144 scale. If you do not know at a stop whether or not a kit is 144, you're going to have to look really hard, because they'll be at the very bottom in Japanese, right there. I don't know if it's very visible right there. There we go. Just be warned, however, because some of the bigger boxes will come as 144 scale, but they'll be huge. That's not Psycho in there, by the way. I don't even know what's banging up in there. Oh, that's just a shield. This is the box for the high-grade Universal Century. Where's its number here? Well, right over here, you can see it on the side here. This is the box for the high-grade 144 scale Psycho Gundam. And if to those familiar with the Gundam Metaverse, Psycho Gundam is pretty big. For those that are not, just to show you, this is the 144 scale Psycho Gundam, and we'll compare it right here to a high-grade 144 scale F91. They're the same scale, and whenever you play the video games, it can be pretty intimidating to fight this guy as this little F91 dude right there. But again, this is still actually a very simple kit. There's not a lot of innards. It's just one big shell for like the thighs, two big shells for the arms, several big shells for the torso right here, and that's pretty much it for Psychos. And the shield is just made up of like 4 or 5 parts, as far as I can think of. But this dude is still I bought him for $50. He should be no more than $50. However, the only exception to the 144 rule is the new recent real grade line. This is a 144 scale box, and the 144s should run between $35 to $50 or $60 depending on the machine. This is Destiny Gundam, and it comes with an entire backpack, which is all wings and a cannon and a sword. I wouldn't really suggest the real grade line for beginners, simply because of all the details that are in it. There's an internal skeleton. There's small hand parts that have individual thumb, finger, and the combined 3 fingers. the weapons have little tabs and whatnot in order to fit into something else, and that could actually snap off if you're not too careful. But you always want to, watch out for those. If you want to get yourself a real grade, go for it. Just be careful, because I actually messed up building my Strike Freedom. His right thumb popped off, and I have no idea where it went. Moving on with the scales, the next line is the 1/100 line, which will give you a robot about this size. This is the Master Grade RX-78-2. Which is modeled after the One Year War game, PlayStation 2 game. This is actually one of my favorite incarnations of the RX-78. And a lot of the 1/100s now will come labeled as Master Grade. Once I move these boxes here, I can get to the box. There we go. And Master Grade or MG, you'll see the golden emblazoned MG on the corner here. And MGs, they'll take units from whole different types of series. That's why I'm not too concerned with talking about the different series, but more than the different lines of GunPla. This right here is the Extreme Burst box art for the Destiny Gundam, which is sitting somewhere over there. Master grades should run between $30 to the bigger ones, probably $170. I remember seeing Sazabi version Katoki for me like $210, which sounds about right for the size of that box and just simply the amount of parts that should be in that kit. And master grades again are more for intermediate users. I wouldn't really suggest it for beginners simply because for the amount of parts that are in there. But again, if you want to get yourself a master grade, by all means, go for it. Have fun. Just take your time with it. As far as what I use to build my Gundam model kits, I have my own little drawer over here with a whole ton of little parts here. To snap off the parts, don't be grossed out, please, but I do use toenail clippers. These are not the toenail clippers that I use to clip my toenails and fingernails, but I keep this one specifically over in this drawer. That way my boyfriend can get into it also, or use it accidentally, which he has once. But you could use these to snap off the parts off the runners, and it can also allow for curved, in order to get to curved parts and to snap off nubs. If your model kit is left with nubs, people on the internet, they'll be very critical of it. They'll call you newbie or whatnot, but it's your model kit. You do what you want with it. Sandpaper, I would say, is another must if you want your model kit to look good. This obviously has seen a lot of use. And I've used these also, especially for prepping them for painting, which I'm still trying to get a hold of. Mastery of. I'm not too what's the word? I'm still not very comfortable with painting my model kits. Also in online shops, or maybe your local comic book shop would have them, would be Gundam markers. You could use these to detail up your Gundam model kit, give them little stripes, or paint them. The F-91's The F-91's wings are Vaspers in the back. I had to paint a little blue stripe on there. I think I did a pretty decent job doing that. The Gundam model kits do come with a little foil sheet of stickers and whatnot that you can use to replicate what the model kit should look like, but no one ever uses those really. And as far as painting is concerned, I've only recently started getting the hang of it. This is my recently painted Delta Chi, one of my favorite designs so far, so I had to paint it with my own color scheme. Painting a model kit, I think, should just be held up for another video altogether. As far as what type of unit you should get as a beginner, I always would suggest to people to get a gym. You can never go wrong with a gym. They have that very awesome militaristic feel to them also. They're not too flashy as some of the Gundam units are, and they're the worker grunts of the series. Sorry, Paranoid, I still have not I've not even opened this guy up yet. I think I pretty much probably answered a few tips and ideas for what to expect if you ever want to get into Gundam model kits. If you have any other questions or suggestions or ideas or comments, you can always contact me at thecosmosowl.tumblr.com. And I hope you enjoyed this video.